Hello, welcome back guys. Today we're gonna continue with our loop tutorial, and after the while and do while loops I'm gonna show you for loops. For loops is very handy when we wanna actually iterate through items such as in arrays and list. Loops demo, and it's very useful in those things. We can use the break and continue keywords in arrays also, as we discussed in the while loops. And let's start with the for loop thing. So how it's done. So syntax for loop is for and the parenthesis. The first part is initialization. I'll explain you guys. The second part is the boolean expression, and the third part is update statement. What does it mean is initialization happens the first time and only once. Here we can declare and initialize our code block variable. I'm saying it as block variable because its scope is within the block of this for loop. It's not seen or valid outside the for loop. Once this is initialized, here we define our condition. So it checks for the condition if my condition is true, and then goes to the code block, and then comes to the update statement. And here in our update statement we can handle our block variable. We can update it, decrement it, increment it, or basically modify our initialized variable. How we do that is, let's start with a simple example. I declare int I as 0, and let me put the condition as maybe until I is less than 20, or maybe 10. 20 is too much for the demo. And what I want to do is I want to increment the I in every iteration, and I need a curly braces. I need one more brace. Alright, this looks weird, right? The curly braces here and the methods curly braces also are right below the for loop. So we can use a shortcut like source. We can go to source format, and it formats our code, see, the proper way. This is a very useful thing. The code should be properly formatted, otherwise it's really difficult to understand when the code is very big. So what do I want to do is I just want to print out the value of I, and the value is I itself. When I run, it gives me the value of I is from 0 to 9 because it is less than 10. Let's say if I give less than equal to 10, what does it do? It includes 10, but obvious, right? So this is how the for loop is used. This is a very basic and simple example. I want to show you guys that for loop is very handy when we are iterating over arrays and lists. So let me declare and initialize an array, maybe called numbers, and let's say 10, 20, and 30. So what I can do is inside my for loop int I. So okay, these two i's are different, right? Because the scope of this I is until this curly brace only. So this I is completely different. I'm gonna use I as 0 because I'm going through the index of the arrays, not the values. So this is the 0th index, first index, and second index, right? So I'm gonna go through the index of the array from I equals to 0 until I is less than numbers. There's a length thing we can find for the arrays, so we want to go through the length of the array. I can right away give 3 here, but I do not want to use any hard codings, and I want to increment the I in every iteration. So here I want to print out the value of index is, and my numbers. So numbers I is gonna give me plus sign for concatenation. Numbers I is gonna give me the value at index I. So I can show you one more thing to you guys. So value of index, maybe I can put here. So value of index I is, and one more plus sign. This is gonna give me the value of index. It's gonna give me the index number and the value at that index. So let me comment this out and run this code now. It says the value of index 0 is 10. See, it's picking up the 0 from this I, and it's picking up the 10 from the value 10 here. It's printing out till 30. This is a very simple example of for loop. Similar way we can iterate through the loops. We can iterate through the list in which we have multiple items, and we can perform actions with the list also and with the arrays also. I want to show you guys one more way. There is the enhanced for loop. In that, it is sometimes called as for each loop also, but the syntax is for these numbers only we can create. So let's say I wanna comment this out. I wanna iterate through the numbers array. So what I do is I declare a local variable. I can say I also, but it's good to make it more understandable. So let's say I'm calling every item as a number, int number. The colon is used, and where I'm gonna iterate is my numbers array. So this is like that. So I'm calling every item as a number, and I'm iterating through the numbers array. The type of this variable has to match the type of integers. So because the type of array, because the array type is integers, so it has to be integers. If I do this, it's gonna give me same output. The value is number, sorry, I need a plus sign. So see, it gives me the value of the arrays, all the elements in the array. So the value is 10, value is 20, value is 30 this time. Similar thing I can use in a maybe a string array also. String array text, and I can say I'm always gonna use my cars thing, BMW, Audi, and maybe let's take a simple one also, Honda also. That's what I always use, right? Yeah. So I've just declared an array of strings and given 3 values. For this I can say my for loop as for string car, or maybe let's call it cars, one car inside cars. So this is my for loops declaration. For everything I'm just gonna print out which car is that. So I can just print out car. If I do this, it gives me all the values inside that string array sequentially, right? So it just iterates through the array, shows me the values inside the array, and this loop is very handy, quite simple syntax. I am just declaring a variable car which is of type string because the array is string type, and I'm looping through the cars array. This is coming from there, and I'm performing any action that I'm trying to do here. So this for each loop is also very handy, guys. I would just say practice this a little bit at home, and for loop is very easy. It's very helpful. Like, it's gonna be in tremendous use when we are doing the coding, programming. And every time pretty much we need the for loops because we sometimes want to iterate through the items in the array, sometimes through the list. It's very helpful, guys. Just practice a little bit, and I'll see you next time with our next tutorial. Thanks for learning, guys.